Got a permit for those guns?
I've got your permit right here.
Okay, getting ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. A little more with I hope you to cut that.
Welcome back to another season of TNO with myself, Quibus, and my co-host, Claudio Barrero.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back, guys. We've taken some time. I know we're up into the 4th episode, and we've been laying low since the last season of Survivor South Africa, but we're back. We're back.
We are back and we are hooked on the American season Winners at War. It is awesome. Claudio, when you told me to check out the season, it literally took me 3 minutes. 3 minutes into the first episode, and I knew I was hooked completely. And it's only a shame that we've only managed to do our first TNO review only at the 4th episode of Winners at War. So how our profile usually go on TNO is we award a golden spear, and that goes for who we think the best player of that specific episode is. Or in tonight's episode, we're gonna speculate about the first 4 episodes, and then we move on to the wooden spoon part of our program, and there we awarded to what we call the village idiot, the person who made the stupidest move. I do think it might be a difficult one in this season. What do you think, Claudio?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. You got a season of pros on the island. Everyone making the right decisions at the right times, and it's just entertaining left, right, and center. Like you said, it is a bit of a shame we didn't start earlier, but at the same time, it's given us time to process what we need to talk about, because there's just so much that happens all the time, and it's interesting to talk about the age of extinction being added to this format as well, and whether or not it's necessary. But at the same time, it does add a lot of value, because you don't want all these people going home. Someone like Ethan, who returned last week, not having him on your TV screen for a long period of time just wouldn't be worth it. So having him on edge of extinction and talking about his battles and stuff, it just makes it so much more worth it in the long term.
I must agree with you 100%. I do think it adds a very entertaining dynamic to the show. And but Joe, just lastly, what we discussed in the last part of each TNO episode is the storm is brewing, and that is basically where we judge, or where we guess what's going to happen in future, where we dare to venture a guess. Anyway, so that is the TNO format for those of you who haven't seen a TNO episode before. Any case, let's jump right in. Claudio, your Golden Spear nominations so far, what are you saying?
Can you come back to me? Let's start with you, Chris.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will not agree with me, but I think I have to nominate Rob.
We're talking Golden Spear here.
Golden Spear. I know people are giving him flack, but I think Claudio, he did a couple of things which is very cool for me. He's got that silly little game which he plays, with the little ring that he's throwing to try and hook it on the tree branch. And I think that is from a strategic point of view, that's a good thing, to sort of like have something to keep your mind occupied, because I do think boredom is an enemy on the island, and you need a way around that. And I think he's using that to his advantage. He's like just playing his little game while he's chatting to people. So I think he sort of had that in mind when he when he came up with that little game. Any case, but I'm not nominating him for Golden Spear because he came up with a silly little game on an island. Why I'm nominating him is because he didn't find a crack in the Adam, Denise, Jeremy, new school alliance. So what he did was he created a crack by going to Jeremy and saying, listen, Adam is coming up to me and he wants to pull all sorts of moves again. So that to me, that's pretty cool. And he's confident, I must admit, he confronts a player, straight up. And I think he's got quite some balls. And Claudio, I mean, he screwed up the first two puzzles and he had the balls to put himself onto the third puzzle, and they won. It turned out well for them.
Yeah, I mean, if that's his strength, isn't it? Like when you're watching Rob play Survivor, you're watching an absolute legend and a master of the game playing 100%. He's direct, he's forward, he takes all the chances, he makes all the bold moves, which is why we love him. And at the same time, it's why his game works out. I mean, he's not afraid to confront people when he has to. And he puts them on the spot, and by putting people on the spot, he gets a good read in terms of what's happening, what they're thinking. And he's done that. And like you said, keeping his mind busy. He looks very nonchalant when he's playing the game. He looks like he's always in control, and that makes people very unnerving about him. And like you said, puzzle. He's going to keep going until he wins. And the funny thing about that is people still keep him around even when he's lost it. But now he's won the last puzzle, one of the greatest comebacks in Survivor history, and his name is behind that. So people aren't only going to remember the winning puzzle, and they're not going to remember the previous two where he failed. So yeah, definitely from that perspective, he's really good at just flipping the game to his favor regardless what the odds are.
Another player I would actually, although he seems to be on the bottom now, but I do want to mention him for the Golden Spear. I'm not saying he's definitely going to get it, but Adam, man, that guy, it seems like he's got more lives than a cat on this show. He takes hits with regards to the vote at Tribal Council, and he just survives. But any case, I'm not going to award him the Golden Spear.
Let's talk. But I think let's talk about Adam. Adam's an interesting character. He's one of those right now where he's done the dirty very early on. Everyone's sussed him out. He's trying to be very smart. He's trying to be straightforward and hoping that it worked out. But obviously, Survivor's a game of trust. And once you've broken the trust, you are dead in the water. So it's interesting because now he's being a suck up a little bit. He's being the teacher's pet, trying to get back into people's good graces. But the thing about him is he can cause this distrust and he can do the things that he's done and get away with it because largely they're bigger threats, they're bigger shields, so to speak, as Jeremy would say, the shield or the meat strategy rather. They are bigger threats, so he can get away with making these mistakes, and that's why, I mean, to his credit, though, like his teachers said, if Adam puts his mind to anything, he can achieve anything, So in that challenge, he managed to get the key, and they came back. So, I mean, overall, I think it worked in his favor. Had they lost that challenge, it might have been a different story.
Claudio, then also, I have to nominate Sarah for having the balls to go over to the other tribe and to go, and poach that advantage for tribal council. And I mean, she sacrificed so much. But I mean, this is just what makes this season for me so entertaining and so worth watching. Is because all these players, they're going for it. They're risking it. Yeah. In Afrikaans, we've got to say, you risk it for the biscuit.
I don't think that's just an Afrikaans for this, but yeah, I think everyone gets that. No, but if we're talking about Sarah, I know we're going back one episode, but if you're talking about Sarah and an attempt and doing that, yeah, it's great. But at the same time, was the risk versus reward there the right balance? So the reward that she did end up getting is still a boat thing. It's only been used once correctly, and it wasn't even used properly, and it wasn't that advantageous. So I mean, her getting caught in a scenario like that is far greater than the benefits of having that steal a boat advantage. So whether or not it works out, sure, it was entertaining for you and entertaining for the rest of us. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have made that move, Sarah. But I do like Sarah. Sarah is definitely my favorite. After winning the previous season, being the champion of that season, she's come back and she's a lot more confident in this run. She's almost got that Sandra swag. Sandra winning it the first time, she was cocky. Second time, she called herself the queen. It's almost like Sarah's got that swag about her, so just watch out for her.
Yes, I must. I think I agree with you. It is. It was very entertaining. Strategically, it wasn't necessarily. Sorry for that bad English. Necessarily a good strategic move, but yeah, 100% entertaining for the fans, and that's what I want. I want entertainment. So I'm enjoying her. I'm enjoying Tony. I was enjoying her and
Oh,
Tyson.
Tony, isn't he? Tony's like he's
Yeah,
a
what
little
a
Christmas gift.
character,
It's
man.
like you wake up, yeah, every episode he's got something where he just puts a smile on your face. Like when he was chirping Adam before he could jump him, he's like, just fall, just fall, just. It was pure entertainment. That was bliss. That was brilliant. Thank you, Tony. We appreciate you.
No, so super entertaining season for me so far. Um, and yeah, no. So, but Claudio, you have to present some nomination for Golden Spear. Put one on the table for us.
I mean, this is not conventional, but I suppose the season with Edge of Extinction isn't conventional. I mean, you have to give it to someone like Natalie. She is technically the millionaire in this game at the moment, according to the new introduction of the fire tokens. And it's almost worked into her favor, her going out first. She's gone to Edge of Extinction. She's been there for a while. She understands how it works. She's got more of a she's got more understanding in terms of when to play advantage and how they work, whereas the other people coming straight off the island, they're like a couple of steps behind her. So she's definitely got one up. And then let's add her physicality into the scenario of Age of Extinction. For example, that last challenge where they had to just go up, or her, the challenge on the island in that particular scenario, where she had to go up and down, up and down. She wasn't fatigued at all. At the end, I mean, she had a moment of weakness, or we wouldn't say weakness, but pure fatigue rather. But she is absolutely killing it. Just wait. She's going to come back into this game and she's going to take it by the horns because she's been dishing out those rewards to people. She's building those relationships off the island. She's getting the fire tokens. Who even knows what those fire tokens are for at this moment in time? But they're going to be used to advantage. So if you're talking about pure Golden Spear positioning, sure, she's not in the game, but she's in the game.
100%, I must agree. So she absolutely killed with that challenge, and I think it was quite tough. You know, they compared it to a marathon, and you could see. I mean, it really took its toll on all of them. And I must admit, I'm also quite impressed with Amber. Not necessarily in her gameplay, so far, but she finished just after Natalie, who's super strong. And she's flipping skinny. I mean, and she did well.
She did.
So, I really think it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of things to consider. When you have something like Edge of Extinction, if you're a diehard fan, you'd probably be against it. But if you look in a scenario like this where you've got all these fan favorites, it's perfect. But at the same time, then you're saying, okay, cool. What's really great about Survivors? All the gameplay, all the strategizing, all the different moves. Now you've got these guys that are so experienced and well-versed in terms of understanding this game. They could be doing really crazy moves that we're just missing out on all the conversations because we have to watch Edge of Extinction. But at the same time, you look at the moment that Ethan had where he's just trying to persevere and he's trying to be a role model for other people, which he is, by the way. He's one of the reasons why I like Survivor, because I think I was 10 when he won his season and he was a footballer and I play football, so I always resonated with someone like that, or not someone like that, with him. And so seeing him have that moment on the island is very inspiring. But at the same time, you go, okay, cool. If they're going to have this, maybe then the episode shouldn't be an hour long. Maybe the episode should be an hour and a half long. Because if we have all waited for these guys anyway, we might as well watch another 30 minutes and have that. Whereas I feel like we're losing a bit more of what's actually going on in the camps, all the craziness. I know Tony's provided a lot of that craziness with building ladders and doing crazy shit and catching sharks and I mean, that's also been entertaining. So we're seeing a lot of entertaining things, but there's a part right now where we're losing out in terms of strategy. I mean, with Tyson getting voted out, it was interesting. We only saw that one part. We haven't seen what's been going on in the camp. I think in the first episode, we saw Yul take control, absolutely dominate the strategic side of his tribe. And next episode, we go back to where they have to strategize, and Tyson's gone with an easy vote, or seemingly easy votes anyway. We don't know what else happened.
Yeah. Just also quickly mentioning Yule, Claudia, I do think Yule is the Yule Alliance. It's Yule, it's Wendell, It is Sophie
Sophie.
and Nick, and I think they're
Man,
laying
doesn't
they're lying
Nick
low.
look like there's... Yeah.
Sorry,
No, continue, sir.
they're lying low, and they're doing an excellent job. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, depending on how the new tribes are, constituted with castaways. But yeah, it might turn out really to their advantage. I mean, the numbers were now after this vote, after voting Tyson off, were really in their favor. So yeah, I was quite
I mean,
entertained by Yule's and analysis in that regard.
yeah, definitely. And if you want to go one step further, if you really enjoyed how he broke it all down, after I think the first episode, he actually explained step by step on Twitter what he's thinking, what his thought process was. And I think after that, Survivor told him he wasn't allowed to, so he stopped doing it. But he is brilliant in the sense that he's brought those three together and he's made an alliance for them, largely because they're all unassuming players. They're bigger threats out there. Sophie, Tyson mentioned in this episode, he forgot her name. I mean, you can't vote for someone whose name you can't remember. You can't write it down, so you can't vote for. So I feel like players like Sophie, players like Wendell, I think he's a bit punching a bit higher than what Sophie is, largely in a sense that he's more well known. But the other guys, I mean, they can sail, they can breezy under the radar. And I think, okay, let's not jump over to the wooden spoon. Let's stick with the golden spear. So I mean, for this episode, you got to say who are you going with?
I think I'm gonna go with our statue man, Mr. Mariano. Isn't he family?
No, he's Italian, I'm Portuguese.
sorry, I'm illiterate in that regard. Any case, Claudia, are you with me with a golden spear for Rob?
Yeah, I think he does well. I think they do well, and you know what? To a certain perspective, they don't go to immunity challenge largely because the puzzle was done by him and Michelle. So it was Rob and Michelle, and then Adam also makes the comeback because Poverty was absolutely, she's just too short for that challenge. Also, don't know why they put the short people jumping for these things. So from a challenge perspective, sure, great. And yes, he causes a bit of a fraction, he causes uncertainty towards Adam, which is good. But let's go to where the action was. Okay, the action was where? The action was with the boats out and Tyson going home. So at the end of the day, you got to then credit Yule because he got what he wanted. I think he got what he wanted. Everyone technically got what they wanted, but I'll go with Yule because that was his strategy. And actually, wait, I scratched everything I just said. Tyson went home because Sandra wanted Tyson to go home. Queen stays queen.
But okay, can we award a golden spear for only dictating a vote?
Yeah, because no, think about the lady.
She's
energy. No,
out of the challenge.
That's exactly brilliant. Exactly. Everyone else is spending all their energy. She doesn't do any of that. She still doesn't. She hasn't changed her gameplay one bit, and no one's talking about getting Sandra out. She's won 2 seasons playing this way. She's still in the game. She still gets who she thinks is the bigger threat out. She doesn't work at all at the challenges. She's well fed. I mean, she's on cruise control. You know that button in your car, cruise, and she's there, boy. Survivor, she just knows which buttons. I did think she made a mistake, but I mean, next episode we see there's going to be a tribe shuffle, so it worked out in the favor in the end. So technically, I'm going to go Queen stays Queen. You going for the King? I'm going Queen.
Okay, you can throw the back part of the spear for Sandra, and I'll throw the front part for Rob. Are you ready?
That sounded super dodgy. Anyway.
Oh damn!
All right, ready.
Anyway, here we go. Enjoy your.
All right. So,
enjoy your golden spear, Rob.
Yeah, it's being the back end of Sandra. You don't want that golden spear. Anyway, we're going to move along to the wooden spoon. And as Lewis stated earlier, the wooden spoon is for the player who made the worst move of the game or of the episode. And Lewis, what are your thoughts?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Claudio. It is a tough one. I mean, it is. I was thinking earlier. It's like eating at the top 5 restaurants and then saying which one was the crappiest. You know, although although they would be in your top 5 restaurants in your city, in your country, or whatever, there would be one which is obviously not as good as the others, but it's still good. So in that regard, like we mentioned in the beginning of this episode, it is going to be tough to award a wooden spoon, but nonetheless, I think I want to nominate, at least from an entertainment point of view, I want to nominate Jeremy for a wooden spoon, because what the hell, man? I'm not seeing anything. He's not like pulling any moves. He's just cruising along. That might be his strategy, but at this stage,
this is contentious, my man. This is so contentious. Jeremy, you're throwing wooden spoon.
I'm nominating. I'm nominating him. It's okay. You can disagree with me, but it's just a nomination. It's just a nomination.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll wait for the other ones.
And also, well, in that same regard, Wendell, what the hell? I don't see Wendell doing anything. I mean, he's part of Yule's alliance, but what is he doing? Where's his strategy? What is he making? What's happening there?
All right. Okay.
And
this is down to the edit, though. Unfortunately, this is certain. This is what I'm saying. When you've got edge of extinction, you've got all these things happening. You don't see everything and what everyone's saying. So purely based on edit. So if you got to look at both those players, I technically think they're both in the bottom seat. They're both very well seated. They've got their seatbelts on. If there's a crash happening in any of their alliances, they buckled in. They're not going to be the first ones flying out. That's for sure.
That might be the case, but yeah. I want to see moves. I want to see action, and from that perspective, that's where my wooden spoon nomination is coming from.
I'm just going to say, from an action perspective,
yeah.
Next episode. No, I'm just saying you got the shuffle coming up, and if we're looking at Wendell, we've got him being Michelle's ex. I think we're going to see some action, and not in the way I'm referring to. I mean, like in gameplay action.
Yeah, that's all. I was wondering who her ex was. I had no idea, I must admit.
What? You got to be in the loop. You got to be in the know.
Yeah, no, definitely. But any case, from a strategic point of view, it might actually work to their favor for about lying low and so on.
Yeah.
But I feel like they haven't made themselves integral parts of crucial alliances.
Okay.
And that is my opinion. So that's my nomination for Wooden Spoon. Although I must also add, Danny, man, I know she's on edge of extinction. Edge of extinction.
That is a tongue twister.
Sorry, yeah, it is. Thanks for.
I gotta say, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow. Just before saying edge.
Yeah, yes. I should do my warm-up exercises. Any case,
yeah.
I also feel like she did very little, and that is why she is finding herself where she is, and she's looking super skinny, man. I mean. I'm just saying, like, when they did that, the challenge, I don't know if you could call it a challenge, but to get their fire tokens, they had to go and collect their 23 stumps with 20 logs or whatever. But I could really there were a couple of camera angles caught her, and I saw she was looking super skinny. And I don't know how you're going to survive, Claudio, for 39 days if you're that skinny. I would bulk up a bit. I would put on a bit of fat, before going to the island. That would be one of my.
She definitely does look like a Portuguese fishing dog. That's for sure. But let me throw out some nominations here. We've got the obvious one that you have missed completely because you're looking at layers, and I think let's just focus on the surface. Nick is the obvious candidate. He looks completely out of his depth, number one. He stuffs up the challenge with that lead, which he had won on a previous season. So he just choked. He pretty much choked because he was intimidated by the names around him and the people around him. So he chokes from that perspective. Then he goes back to camp. He's completely left out of all the discussions. He finds out afterwards that Tyson's gunning him. And then he says, my plan is to go for everyone who's not voting for me. So he's found the plan out very late, and he's just jumped. And then he goes to tribal council, and he pretty much owns up and says, and now you're playing with the game of experts, by the way, and you tell everyone that, hey, yeah, I stuffed up the challenge. It was my fault we are here. That's number one. That's a big rookie. And then number two, he says, well, I'm just hoping that everyone sticks to the plan. So yeah, he's lucky everyone stuck to the plan, and he looks good now. But at the same time, if Tony had his way, or if Tyson had his way, the scenario would have been different. Tyson is unlucky. I don't want to throw him out there, but I suppose he has to get mentioned largely because, like he said, he says it himself, it just seems too easy. And in survival, when something seems easy, you know it's anything but. So, and it's anything but because it really smells afterwards. That's why it's anything but. But yeah.
I think you're actually spot on with Tyson. You know, when everyone just goes, you know, yep, whatever you say, Tyson, we're doing that. You know, and apparently, I mean, he played the poker game with Sandra and Rob and them. So he's supposed to be able to read people pretty well. And it's the fourth time for you playing a Survivor. And yeah, I must admit, he should have read that situation.
Well, yeah, that's the part where he lets go, because the problem he relies on the fact that he's playing with well-known people and he's playing with experts, right? So the argument he presents up front is very logical, and he's the only one who sees it, saying that you and Nick and Wendell and Sophie are together, and they're putting this alliance together, and I mean, they're the obvious threat, and he's the only one to see that. So he thinks his argument is logical enough to get people to join him. And that's why he stops working, unfortunately. And Sandra's the one then says, no, Dustin's got to go because he's not playing me. And you know what? That's the interesting thing about the old school players. And when I say old school players, I'm talking specifically about Rob and specifically about Sandra, is that, yes, they understand how this game works, but they've got this pride about them that dictates their game. So they decide exactly, if once you've burnt a bridge, there's no way remending that situation again, no way building it. If they want you out, you've gone, regardless of how logical or illogical it is. And I feel like at some point that's going to be a flaw in both their games.
I think you're right. And also, I just want to mention Sandra made a comment in this episode, although she did not really stick to it. She said, "I like revenge, but I love $2 million more." What a quote! Any case, but then she decided, or I'm not sure if it was solely her decision, but then they decided to vote Tyson out in any case, nonetheless. So yeah, I think Claudia, do you have the spoon ready there? Or can we hand it over?
Who are you giving it to, though?
Tyson.
No, why are you giving it to Tyson? Because he got voted out. You can't just give the wooden spoon to people who get voted out. Nick is the one who deserves the spoon. Nick, it's Nick.
He
pretty much said on live. He said on live TV that Parvati was his high school crush. He said that. And now what? What now? When they merge, Parvati's going to be in his alliance, and she's going to have him wrapped around his little finger.
Yeah, man. That okay. I must admit that was a stupid thing to say, Nick. Sorry, dude.
You know what he looks like? To be fair, he looks like a primary school kid trying to play a sports or trying to compete with high school kids. That's what he looks like.
Shame, man. Just give the young guy some. Just give him some benefit of the doubt, man. The experience isn't on his side.
No, well, it is because he's a winner. All these people won something. You got to remember that. You know what the irony is? He's one of the new winners. So he knows how the gameplay works. He knows all of that stuff. And all
at this stage,
what he doesn't have compared to the old school players is that he doesn't have that emotional connection, the EQ side. That's a bit daunting for him.
Okay, all right. Let's hand it over. Are you ready? Are you ready there, Nick? Are you ready for handing Nick his wooden spoon, Claudio?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Nick. Here's your wooden spoon.
Oh.
Go and stir a pot there. It's on the island. Any case, all right. Storm is brewing. Claudia, yeah. So we see that the merge is coming up, and yeah, I mean a lot, a lot's hanging on who is going to be in which tribe from here on forward. But
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think it'll be better for players like Rob and Sandra, this tribe switch, or do you think a tribe switch is also a bit of a lifeline for someone who's on the bottom, or both?
Well, yeah, I think Rob is at the bottom, so I think this is a huge opportunity for him and Parvati at the same time. Someone like Sandra, I don't think any of these things really affect her, to be honest. I think Sandra will always find a way. She's like a cockroach in the game of Survivor. She just can't be killed, man. It's interesting, but they do have those ties, and that's also one of the reasons why they both threw out Tyson, was the fact that if they had gone to merge, Tyson had the connection with Boston Rob, with Poverty, the so-called poker lines. So it is a huge opportunity for someone like Rob, who does find himself at the bottom, and Kim Spradlin as well. You remember, because they're all friends. So that's interesting. And Kim Spradlin, by the way, I think this is it's very interesting to watch, because she's someone who came from her season of being a champion, where she dominated the whole thing. She hardly went to tribal councils, and she was just in control. So to see her out of control early on in the season, and to see how she's still sticking around, you can see she's super uncomfortable with how everything's shaken up, but she's still there. And I think as the time goes on, she's long in this game. She's a challenge from she's a real threat in challenges, and she can always like wiggle away into any relationship. So that's interesting. I think for Kim Spradlin also, it's going to be a game changer for her.
I must admit, I think what's gonna also, what's gonna have a significant impact on the game is that players are now gonna start to have a bit of a mind shift regarding merge will be coming up shortly. If and also, you always, before merge, what happens is you try and vote out players who are going to be a threat on their own, who's going to be a personal threat, and who might be stronger in challenges. And it's always interesting for me to see that people motivate someone as a physical, or they would say someone as a physical threat, and therefore use that as a motivation to vote someone out, although it does not necessarily, being physically strong does not necessarily always help you in the individual challenges, because a lot of the time it ends up with a puzzle, or in some cases it is a challenge where you've got to hang on to something, and if you're physically strong and you're big, that actually that works to your detriment, because you're heavier and you tend to fall out of the challenge. But it's just an interesting thing which I've noted, is a lot of the time the players would motivate voting out someone who's physically big and strong just before merge, because they're motivated by saying the person is a physical threat. And I'm not actually convinced that that's a good reason to vote someone out. I would much rather vote out someone who's a strategic threat just before merge. But so yeah, if you were on the island, Claudio, who would you get off of that island as soon as you can now?
Sandra, she's won it twice. She's already got $2 million in the bank because she's won it twice. So why give her more money? Second, Boston Rob. Get rid of these old school damn players, man. Everything you just said now, the whole mentality of getting someone off because they're physically stronger, that is an old school mentality. Which that means what? If you leave these old school players now who've gotten older and technically weaker, what they're really good at is they're good at the EQ side, the emotional side. Why? Because they stuck around, they got rid of all the physical guys. So now what? You're going to keep them around? No. Keep your Jeremy's on. Even though Jeremy's strategic. This is a really tough one because they all know what they're doing. I think someone like Michelle is an interesting character because she's said it time and time again. She's got a lot to prove. People undermine her for her win of Co-Round. So her detriment might be someone like that, new school player or in between more or less, might be playing too hard, too fast. Like Rob said, who cares how you won, right? And I think that's pretty much the validation she needed. So that is, for me, that is a bit full circle where this legend, this old school legend, who's gotten just as much criticism for winning the season that he won, tells Michelle, listen, who gives a damn? You're still in this game. And I actually think that might work in his favor because I don't know if that was strategic when his partner is building the relationship with her. But even if it isn't, I mean, that's something she needed from, or needed to hear from an island. I think someone like Ben is an interesting character. He's quite erratic. All these guys that won in the last couple of years, they find themselves in an interesting position because they really want to play and they want to play hard because they're used to playing hard and it's a lot faster than the average pace. But at the same time, like Nick was, they're intimidated by the presence of the old school. So it's interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, I must admit, Ben is growing on me a bit. That in that first couple of episodes, I was really not impressed. But he seems to have stabilized a bit for me. I don't know if we just saw less of him in the last episode.
Yeah.
But in the last two episodes, it felt like he sort of like found his feet, and I'm enjoying him a bit more as a character. But any case, Claudio, any closing remarks from your side?
I can't wait for episode 5, man. I think it's getting one step further. I think the last one slowed down a bit. The first one was brilliant. You just had all that nostalgia and you're like, wow, these guys are so good at what they do. And the second one was cool, third one was cool. Fourth one was like, okay, it's playing out now. It's playing out. So the fifth one, let's hope for the moves that you've been asking for.
Yes, I'm also looking forward to the fifth episode immensely. Yeah, I'll be glued to my screen, and what I'm looking forward to even more is to chatting to you about it.
Yeah, awesome,
Okay,
man.
but that is from TNO's side. That is all we've got time for tonight. Thank you for watching our videos, and yeah, remember to subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Peace.